When Athens was not even thought of, Kashi was. When Rome did not even exist in people's minds, Kashi was. When Egypt did not exist, Kashi was. That ancient. And they built a kind of a instrument in the form of a city, which is a kind of instrument which brings a union between the micro and the macro. The legend of Kashi 100% goes by the fundamental that he himself lived here. Shiva being a yogi and a Bhuteshwara, his number is 5. So, they built it to the dimensions of 5, the 5 crochets and the diameter and the radius of the place is 5 crochets. Like this, they built many layers. It's a misfortune that we were not alive when it was in full glory. It must have been the most phenomenal place for it to draw people from across the world. People have been traveling here from across the world for thousands of years. Gautama came here to give his first teaching. The Chinese traveler who came after Gautama, he says, Nalanda University is just a small drop of knowledge that fell out of Kashi. Mathematics reached its highest peak. All the people that you hear of, Aryabhatas and so many others, they all came from this region. All generated by the culture that was alive in Kashi. This level of intelligence and human competence came because of this instrument which allowed them to make contact with dimensions which are not usually available to a human being. It is not something that they logically thought up. They saw the existence the way it is. By seeing the nature of the creation, human intelligence matured in ways that nobody had ever imagined possible. Even today, it's in common language, but they may not know what's behind this. They say Kashi is not on the ground, it is on Shiva's Trishul up there. Because they created a physical structure which in turn generated an energy structure. And the energy structure is not on the ground, it is above. So because of this, they said, Kashi is not on the earth, it is above the earth. So it's because of that this whole tradition came up. If you go to Kashi, that is it. You don't want to leave the place because when you get connected to the cosmic nature, why would you want to go anywhere else? There was something called a Saptarishi Puja. Saptarishis means the 7 sages who were the first disciples of Shiva. They were to leave to carry this message and go. When they asked him, how should we worship you? He taught them a method. He said, you do it this way, I will be there. That method was taught to them and they taught to the people, and today it continues in the same tradition, the way Shiva taught it to the 7 sages. That process they started off. Most people do not choose to live in a great manner. They have an aspiration, at least they want to die in a great way. Dying gloriously means death leading not just to disposal of body, but death leading to an ultimate liberation. That little aspiration brought millions of people to Kashi to die. It almost became like a city of death. People want to die here. On an average in Kashi, every day about 40 to 50 bodies are burnt. Just sit there for 3 days. If you sit in sadhana there just for 3 days, you will see what a difference it will make. Simply because this energy is being forcefully ejected from the bodies. It is almost like human sacrifice because the energy is being forcefully thrown out and there's a phenomenal amount of energy, and if you know how to use it, This is the reason why all the certain types of yogis are doing sadhana, including Shiva himself, always doing sadhana in the cremation ground, because without harming any life, you still can make use of life. This is the most complex and sophisticated machine on the planet, that's Kashi. It's phenomenal that somebody created a place like this. We bow down to them for the intelligence behind it, the competence behind it, the vision behind it, the compassion behind it, to make it available to everybody. This is what the world needs, not dogma, not philosophies, not belief systems. Human ability to go beyond our sense organs and be able to perceive something which is right now considered beyond. This is the only way a human being will know. This is the only way a human consciousness will expand. This is the only way a human being will evolve beyond narrow divisions that have happened in human societies. If we cannot create another Kashi, the existing one we should preserve to whatever extent we can and create more instruments through which human beings can connect to larger possibility. We don't need more books to read. We need more practical instruments and methods through which a human being can expand his sense of who he is right now.
वाराणसी पुरपतिं भज विश्वनाथम्।